Hey everyone, just wanted to take this opportunity to say thanks for being a part of a Global Presence worship team, whether that's at the prayer room or at the warehouse on Sunday mornings or at conferences. You guys are doing a great job, and it's just awesome to see each of you grow and see your hearts of worship just be set ablaze for the King of Kings. So thank you for all that you guys do and all that you pour out week in and week out. So just wanted to touch base with you guys and try something a little different here. I know you guys get a ton of emails, and sometimes it can be difficult to sort through everything and keep everything straight. So I wanted to try something new here and see if this can help. So just one thing I wanted to touch base with you guys today was just in the area of the stage here at the warehouse. Um, you notice that a lot of things are kind of taped down on the floor and things are placed in a specific spot. I just want to kind of explain why that is the way it is and how we can work together to make our worship experiences the best they can be from start to finish. A lot of thought went into why things are placed where they are when we were designing the layout. And so you'll notice that some cables are taped down. A lot of that's for safety, so people don't trip over stuff, and so things will kind of stay as stationary as they possibly can. And then things are placed, mic stands and music stands and instruments and different things like that are placed where they are for a specific reason. So just wanted to share a little bit about that. One reason was we wanted to kind of tuck things back a little bit so that we could have plenty of room for any flaggers or dancers and dramas and things that we wanted to do on the stage. We wanted to maximize the space with having to only move things if we absolutely had to, because as you can see, sometimes when things are taped down and things are coiled up and things like that, it can be difficult to move things quickly and then also get them back where they needed to go. And then also, I wanted to do the best that I could to have good line of sight between all the musicians and singers. Some things, again, are tucked back a little bit for space, but the nice thing is you can see through the drum shield if necessary to be able to see musicians from one side of the stage to the other. So one thing that would help tremendously is if we could just leave things where they are. Sometimes it can be nice to shift things around a little bit, but there's plenty of room on the stage and where things are at. And so if you have suggestions of where maybe you'd like to see things moved instead, definitely open to some suggestions to see what we can do to better serve the team as a whole. But again, just keeping in mind that things are where they are for a reason, and when putting it together, it was the best possible solution that we could come up with for line of sight and things like that, and space, and as well as safety for everyone. Trying to keep people off the edges of the stage as best as possible, so little missteps wouldn't involve flying off the edge. So if you do have to move something, I just ask that you please put it back and then pay attention to how the cables are laying. Because one of the other things with cables is while they do have a shielding around them, sometimes they can be kind of delicate and they can break on the inside. So we really don't want to have to replace things like that if we don't have to. So just keep in mind, just keeping things as neat as possible. We want it to look aesthetically pleasing as well. We don't want it to be a distraction. So as clean as it can possibly be, the better. So that way our attention isn't drawn to little things and messes on the stage and things like that. And then also, if we could just kind of work together as a team and just make sure that we clean up our stations when we are done with our set. Actually, at the end of the session, you can kind of clean your stuff up. So if you brought it up with you, whether that's an instrument or headphones or cables, your binders from the worship leader and things like that. If you bring it up to the stage when the session is done, if we could bring those down with us, so then when the next team comes up, whether that's at a conference or whether that's the next Sunday, the next team that comes up can just come up with what they need and they don't have to clean up after the person who was there previously. So if we could all work together on that, that would be excellent. So with your binders, if you need to return them to the worship leader for that day, or if you have been given one for yourself from the worship leader, you can just take that with you. An exception to this would be if you are during a conference doing multiple sessions in a row on the same instrument and station, then you can leave your stuff up in that position, so when you come up for the next time, you're ready to go. So this will help in a lot of areas, again, because our time is short a lot of times with sound checks and things like that. And so we want to make sure that we maximize the time that we get. So if you guys have any questions, just let me know, and I look forward to seeing you guys this weekend.